One Zambia, One Nation. A warm welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti. The headlines: Government praises German support to Zambia. President Hichilema concerned with the food basket in Africa. Zambia International Mining and Energy Conference opens. Plus, anthrax spreads to 5 provinces in Zambia. Zanis News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has commended the German government for its unwavering support towards Zambia's debt restructuring program. President Hichilema said Germany has continued to play a pivotal role in the G20 framework, which has seen the country slowly stabilize economically. He stated that Germany has not only supported Zambia in the debt restructuring program, but also in many sectors of the economy. Zanis reports that the head of state said this when Germany President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and his delegation paid a courtesy call on him at State House today. President Hichilema further said Zambia and Germany should deepen their relations, especially where peace and security is concerned. And Germany President Frank Steinmeier said the two countries have a long-standing relationship which they have continued to enjoy. President Steinmeier has since called on some German companies that are operating in Zambia to look for new investment opportunities in the country.
Our own restructuring efforts in various areas is well appreciated, and I think we're on the road to concluding or putting to bed this debt challenge that we've had. So once more, we now want to focus on opening the economic, social cooperation more, deepening that trade, investment in the various sectors, given the German technological advancement, the capital base that Germany has. Of course, when the capital comes in our country, we expect it to come at a fair price, because Africa seems to pay a higher cost of capital than any other. And also, Your Excellency, we are keen to promote joint ventures that will lead to a fourth aspect, which we value so much, value addition, processing in country, so that we can accelerate our own economic growth, our own job creation opportunities for our young population. Zambia has a young population, as Africa does have a young population.
Attend the signing of financing agreements for the further support of water supply, and we're delighted that Germany is going to provide another 10 million euro in order to improve water management and water supply, and thus lends a contribution to the water supply of the population when the level of water is low, and this thus improves water supply for the people. Mr. President, let me also highlight the fact that our relations go way beyond development cooperation. Germany and Zambia share common values based on rule of law, democratic structures. We assume similar positions in many international affairs, and I was able to thank you, Mr. President, that you took a clear stance on the Russian war of aggression against you.
Zanis News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for concerted efforts within the African continent to address food insecurity. President Hichilema noted that the region is already stressed with climate-related issues that are affecting the food basket. Speaking when the World Food Programme Director for Southern Africa Development Community Region, Mahestab Haile, called on him at State House, President Hichilema said the instability in Eastern Congo remains top agenda for the SADC organ. Wupe Sendwe gives us more in the following report.
The El Nino is expected to have a negative impact on agricultural production in several regions, Southern Africa inclusive. In light of this, governments in the Southern African Development Community, SADC, are being called upon to mobilize resources that will mitigate the impact.
As a region, as a country, how are we going to be prepared for it? You have the leadership, and we look at together as partners, how do we make sure that we have what is needed, because we know El Nino is coming.
Speaking when Mr. Hale called on him at State House, President Hakainde Hichilema said that Zambia is determined to work on increasing food productivity and overall production for domestic and export purposes.
As a country, we have enough food, but the issue is that the countries around us don't have the food. So a number of them don't have the food, and it has an impact on the domestic food prices, not availability, but domestic food prices because of the pressure, demand pressure on our food situation. And that's why now we're moving to work on increasing our own productivity.
President Hichilema further disclosed intentions by the organ on politics, defense and security to help stabilize the instability in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
And so the issue of DRC security, state of women, children, ordinary population is high on the agenda. As you know, SADC has decided to put in a program for Eastern Congo called SAMI DRC, SADC Mission in the DRC, but basically it's Eastern Congo.
Later at State House, President Hakainde Hichilema appointed and swore in Kennedy Lishimpe as Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services and Etambuyu Anamela as Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Permanent Secretary for International Relations and Cooperation.
We know the country got spoiled over the years, that when you're in public office, you're the president, you're the minister, your cabinet office, your PS, your first call is to save yourself. No. You want to do that? Stay in the private sector, do what you are doing on your own. You come into public office, first call is to save the people, the public, the masters. Simple, straight.
Bope Sendo for Zanis News in Lusaka.
In a related development, the Egyptian government has pledged to collaborate with the Zambian government in developing infrastructure. Egyptian Minister of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities, Renan Philo, said his country is ready to help Zambia with technical support in this sector. The Egyptian minister indicated that investment will be extended in sectors such as pharmaceuticals and manufacturing, among others. Dr. Philo said this during a meeting with Zambia's Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development in Cairo, Egypt. Meanwhile, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Charles Milupi encouraged Egyptians to take advantage of Zambia's stable economic and political environment, which supports private sector investment. Mr. Milupi further informed the Egyptian delegation that Zambia is geographically and strategically located in the SADC region, hence providing easy access to regional markets. While in Egypt, Mr. Milupi also visited a waste management recycling plant, which also intends to invest in Zambia.
Egypt can take advantage of the stable economic and political environment in Zambia and the strategic geographical location within the SADC region that offers opportunities for easy access to regional markets. Zambia also has young, energetic, and educated labor force, and my government is vigorously implementing reforms aimed at growing the private sector, including foreign direct investments. Zambia therefore looks forward to investment from Egypt. As you know, Egypt is the economic powerhouse of the region.
Bit with them, and we succeed now because we developed more than 1 million units. The story is too long and there is a lot of details, and we will be more than happy to share all information, even through visits, or to invite your specialized team to come here and sit with their brothers in the Social Housing Fund Authority.
Now, in Northwestern Province, Angola's Moxico Province Governor Ernesto Muangala has appealed to Zambian businesses to consider taking their investment to Moxico. Speaking during a business forum with the Zambian delegation led by Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu in Angola, Dr. Muangala highlighted the province's opportunities that Zambians could explore. Let's take a look at this report by Mwape Mwesa.
Government has prioritized economic diplomacy and strengthening bilateral relations that exist with other countries. This is because maximizing strategic alliances helps in fostering economic growth. The Moshiko and Northwestern Provincial administrations have held a business forum to explore areas of cooperation.
Tendo feito esta apresentação das potencialidades da província de Mochico, para estabelecer o intercâmbio econômico que se impõe.
Area that Northwestern Province and Moshiko should critically consider is the area of how do we move from having all these endowments. So we have this strength in mining, we have this strength in agriculture, we have this strength in forestry, and we need to find a way of getting these products processed within our localities.
Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu and Moshiko Province Governor Ernesto Mwangala both want the local people to benefit from strengthened collaboration.
Deveremos contar uns com os outros. Os empresários da província do Noroeste e zambianos no geral são bem-vindos a Angola. Promovendo o reforço dos laços de cooperação, são bem-vindos a Angola.
We may discuss years and years if our border areas, the infrastructure are not put there, and the rail line, the roads are not constructed, then this province and my province will still remain behind in terms of interaction.
Mwape Mwesa for Zanis News in Moshiko Province, Angola.
We move to the Copperbelt Province, where the 11th Zambia International Mining and Energy Conference, ZIMEC, has opened in Kitwe, with close to 3,000 delegates from over 40 African countries. The 2 days conference is expected to help business players with linkages and exploration of investment opportunities in the country. Liz Ngobeka has the rest of the story.
The 11th Zambia International Mining and Energy Conference has opened in Kitwe, with government pledging to provide a predictable and conducive investment environment. The conference, which has brought together industrial players in the mining and energy sector, provides business-to-business linkages and exploration of investment opportunities in the country. Mines Minister Pokabuso represented President Hakainde Hichilema and assured the delegates of government's commitments to growing the mining and energy sectors.
That has said we want to maximize benefit from the mineral resource this country is endowed with, but being mindful that our economy is private sector driven. Meaning the environment must be such that Lumwana must invest $2 billion. Why are they investing all that kind of money, or even First Quantum? It's because they know that the environment is conducive, their investment is safe, and Zambia is business friendly.
Energy Minister Peter Kapala, who was represented by his Director for Planning, Mwape Chipala, appealed for more investors in the energy sector.
You're all aware that in the last 2.5 years, the energy sector has been going under vigorous reforms, both in the petroleum as well as in the electricity sector. Under electricity, there is an introduction of an open access regime, where now the electricity market is being characterized by competitiveness, more clarity and transparency in terms of governance. This obviously providing a clear pathway for the investor.
British High Commissioner to Zambia, Nicholas Woolley, affirmed his government's commitments to supporting Zambia's mining and energy sectors.
The UK is once again the largest foreign direct investor in Africa. No country's businesses invest more in this continent than British businesses. So it's no surprise to see sizable UK business contingent in the room here today. And my thanks also to AME Trade, a UK-based conference and events company, who together with the Ministry of Mines have helped to grow this international conference over the last decade to what we have here today.
The Zambia Chamber of Mines wants more investments in the road and rail infrastructure.
Zambia's mining industry is a magnetic sector. It's magnetic in terms of power requirements. We are now talking about the need to put power before mine production to 3 million tons. So before we think of 3 million tons being achieved, we need power ahead of that. Now, and I want to think that part of what you are here for is to think and see what opportunities will be obtained in the power sector ahead of mining.
The conference has attracted over 3,000 delegates from across Africa. Liz Ngobeka reporting for Zanis in Kitwe.
And in Central Province, Provincial Minister Princess Kasune has castigated manganese processing investors for subjecting employees to inhumane conditions. Ms. Kasune, who toured Chimeto Manganese Processing Plant in Serenje District, discovered that the plant has a workforce of 200 workers with only 7 toilets. We now take you to Southern Province, where Provincial Minister Credo Nanjua has commissioned 6 earth-moving equipment that were procured under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, worth 12 million kwacha. At the same ceremony, Mr. Nanjua also handed over 2,500 desks to be distributed to various schools. Here are the details.
The state of roads in the Valley district of Gwembe have been a source of concern for motorists and residents who have for many years struggled to access public facilities. The local authority, through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, have now procured 6 earth-moving equipment valued at 12 million kwacha to improve road infrastructure in the district. Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua graced the handover ceremony.
CDF is our flagship to development. For that, the well-being of our people of Gwembe and here in Southern Province is improved. We need to bring the infrastructure development. We need to empower the people through grants and loans.
Through CDF, over 2,500 desks have also been procured and 122 empowerment grants have been disbursed.
Today we are commissioning 6 pieces of earth-moving equipment procured at a cost of 12,417,832 kwacha.
For the people of Gwembe district, the Constituency Development Fund is changing the face of the district and transforming livelihoods.
I've seen tremendous development. The Honorable Minister is a game changer. We made a conscious decision that we have in the 16 wards that we want earth-moving equipment because we have no roads in Gwembe. That conscious decision, Honorable Minister, we were able to buy 6 earth-moving equipment.
For the council, this is a positive milestone for the development of the rural district.
The earth-moving equipment, as we are commissioning today, will enable us to tackle critical infrastructure projects in our district, such as rehabilitation of roads, bridges, upgrading of the systems. Learners who are struggling with inadequate desks will greatly benefit from the handover of these desks. Distribution of empowerment grants underscores our commitment to economical empowerment. The grants will breathe oxygen in the life of small business and entrepreneurship, who play a vital role in our local economy.
Kalunga Msonda, Zanis News, Gwembe District, Southern Province.
In health news, the Ministry of Health has recorded 335 anthrax cases, including 4 deaths countrywide. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo announced the development during a press briefing in Lusaka today, with Southern Province topping the list with 269 cases recorded and 2 deaths. Out of the 269 cases, 242 are from Sinazongwe District, including the 2 deaths, while Kazungula District recorded 17 cases, with Livingstone recording 6, Monze 2, while Choma and Kalomo recorded 1 each. Western Province recorded 19 cases, out of which 9 are from Sesheke, 6 in Mongu, 3 in Nalolo, and 1 case from Sioma. Eastern Province also recorded 30 cases, with 28 from Lumezi and 1 death, and 2 cases from Lundazi, while 13 cases have been recorded in Lusaka District, with 5 cases from Kanyama, 6 in Matero, while Chesson and Chilenje recorded 1 each. Other cases are from Northwestern Province, with 1 case from Kasempa, where a patient is believed to have traveled to Southern Province and ate a carcass with a known cause of death. Muchinga Province recorded 3 cases from Pikas Nawale Rural Health Center and 1 death of a 12-year-old girl.
Currently, we have a cumulative 335 cases and 4 deaths. that have been reported across the country so far. And these are in the following provinces. Topping in Southern Province, 269 cases and 2 deaths have been reported in the province. They are distributed as Snazongwe with 242 cases, including 2 deaths. Kazungula with 17 cases. Livingstone with 6 cases. Monze with 2 cases. And 1 case in Choma and 1 case in Kalome. The next province affected is Western Province. They have a total of 19 cases that have so far been reported in the province and distributed as follows: 9 in Sesheke, 6 in Mongu, 3 in Nalolo, and 1 in Sioma. The other province that has a good number of cases also is Eastern Province. For Eastern Province, they have recorded a total of 30 cases so far. And these are distributed as follows. In Lumezi district, they have recorded 28 cases of the 30, with 1 death, whereas Lundazi district has recorded 2 cases.
Make sure that traders in meat are basically selling meat to the public that is certified fit for human consumption. And the laws already exist, and this must be the practice, whether there is anthrax or there isn't anthrax. The mission of anthrax, as we understand it, it is definitely possible for a human being who is infected with anthrax, especially the skin infection, when they come in close contact to another person who may be having either breaks in their skin or excessive exposure from the infected person.
Still in health news, the Choma Municipal Council has seized and destroyed 24 kilograms of uninspected meat from various markets and butcheries to curb the spread of anthrax. Council Public Relations Officer Kameko Manda said the health department carried out inspections in which it was established that the 24 kilograms of meat was uninspected and thus were seized and destroyed. Kalunga Musonda now reports.
It is business as usual for these meat traders at Choma's Makalanguzu market, as they have continued trading in meat in open spaces despite knowing about the outbreak of anthrax that is ravaging the province. They claim it is their only source of livelihood.
So tabauza titinamvela ye kuti matenda yaliko ayogulisa nyama ayolesa kugulisa nyama sitikana manje kai na inango business yamina anajaira ivuta kuti ungene muri inango business so isetenzo pempako chabe ngati kuli mwame banga titandizile ndaba chochita isetilibe tinajaira chekugulisa nyama so chochita tilibe so tenzo pempa kuti ngati government kuli mwamene ngati titandizile ndiye pameti diesela bana.
But Choma Municipal Council has swung into action and is seizing and destroying all unsuspected meat without traceable origin.
So what we've done as a local authority is we did an operation last week where we went round to various markets and butcheries, and during that operation we managed to seize about 24 kgs of uninspected meat, and also from illegal butcheries that don't have documentation from the council.
The local authority has warned this exercise is ongoing.
The Choma Municipal Council conducted sensitization using the PA system last week in all the townships here in Choma, just to raise awareness and to ensure that our residents are well informed and they avoid buying meat from places that are not licensed, and also buying uninspected meat products. The other the other activity we've done as the council, just to ensure that anthrax doesn't spread in Choma district, is that just today we've sent a group of health inspectors to a notorious place, popularly known as Dingama Market, somewhere in Makalanguzu area, where people sell meat products just right there at the market and in an open space. So our health inspectors have gone there and they've gone to engage the traders who trade in this meat just to stop this activity. The approach is to engage them. Then should they resist, we'll be forced to take further action.
Following confirmed cases in other districts of Southern Province, the Choma Municipal Council will continue sensitizing members of the public to curb the anthrax outbreak. Kalunga Msonda, Zanis News, Choma District, Southern Province.
In Northern Province, the Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Nicholas Piri, has observed that the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has scored success in rural areas as more businesses have opened up. Mr. Piri, who is on a tour of the province, stated that the current situation will likely change the socio-economic aspect of the rural parts of the country.
He has concluded his tour of duty in Northern Province, where he was on a special mission to inspect developmental projects and hold meetings with local authorities and devolved departments. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary in charge of Technical Services, Nicholas Piri, also held meetings with traditional leaders, and this was his message.
Government buildings have standards and specifications. Everything is specified by the Ministry of Infrastructure. And when we are constructing CDF projects, they are not exempt from government standards. What we have seen in our tour of duty is that people have transposed the right price to mean poor quality, to mean cheap. And this is right through the provinces. I think this must come to an end. So I want to appeal to local authorities that all non-performing contracts, all contracts outside the delivery period should not be renewed more than twice. And then all contracts to do with the delivery and supply of desks should not be renewed.
Mr. Piri was accompanied in the tour of duty by his counterparts, the Permanent Secretary for Northern Province, Bernard Mpundu, and Patrick Mucheleka, based at Cabinet Office Special Duties.
Let's attract the authorities to give more money and more responsibilities to the local authorities by demonstrating our capabilities. If we show leakages like this, I think we're discouraging those who are supporting us, and it must end.
The Permanent Secretary and his delegation also paid the Kete Sikon Chief Chinakila of the Lungu people of Mpulungu district. Taonga Nkoma reporting for Zanis in Mpulungu district.
In our education news, Chavuma District Commissioner Geoffrey Kasonda has encouraged institutions implementing the Keeping Girls in School KGS program to always provide appropriate guidance to girls in order for them to have a wider view of available professions. Mr. Kasonda noted during the first ever KGS symposium held at Chavuma Boarding Secondary School that for many years pupils have had limited understanding of careers they can choose from. Josephine Banda gives us more in this report.
Government, through the Keeping Girls in School initiative in Chavuma district, is supporting 2,071 girls from grade 8 through to tertiary education. This is a rare opportunity given to a girl child to take education seriously, considering the fact that funding is guaranteed by government through its cooperating partners.
I'm proud to inform you that government through KGS is supporting girls from grade 8 through tertiary education. This is a rare opportunity given to you, our girls child, to take education very seriously, considering the fact that your funding is guaranteed by government through our cooperating partners.
The District Education Board Secretary reviews the number of KGS beneficiaries in the area and its significance.
It may interest you to know that Chavuma District Guest of Honor has 2,071 girls under the Keeping Girls in School initiative. Chavuma district only has 2,071 girls that are supported by KGS.
And the event was graced by various motivational speakers from different academic disciplines.
Then I went to Apex Medical University. That's where I did my Bachelor of Science in Nursing, the degree program. Now I'm a tutor at Chavuma College of Nursing and Midwifery.
My name, as you were told before, is Mumba Patience. I'm a banker by profession. I'm a girl child just like you. I was also sponsored by the Social Welfare Office.
Education is the only game changer. I never thought at any time that, I would get out of that place and be who I am today.
Meanwhile, the KGS beneficiaries have this to say.
Guest of honor, I'm very excited that the government of His Excellency, the President of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is cooperating partners, is supporting girls from grade 8 to tertiary level.
Josephine Banda reporting for Zanis, Chavuma District in Northwestern Province.
In a related story, over 1,000 girls are being sponsored under the Keeping Girls in School KGS program in Masaiti District. We have details by Nkwachi Chanda.
They are among the over 1,000 beneficiaries of the education support under the Keeping Girls in School program. These are the pupils from different schools in Masaiti District who are under the Keeping Girls in School program being implemented by government and its cooperating partners. And government has advised to the beneficiaries.
The best example, your future is catered for. Some of the people, they depend on their parents. You depend on the government. Your progress after school, you go for tertiary universities, it's already made for you. The way is paved for you. It's a matter of you to get that. What you have, don't miss it. Get it. You never know what comes in future. Maybe KGS won't be there. Appreciate the government. Appreciate the people that are taking care of you. Appreciate God for what you have, because in the future, you have plenty.
During the same event, different heads of government departments encouraged the girls to realize their potential.
Education equalizer. Every one of us will become whatever we want to be. So the message I came with today is that where you are today does not determine where you'll be tomorrow. But everyone we know about tomorrow is the better than today. So whatever we are doing here is not just about Mangala and Shani. We are trying to point you to the better tomorrow. So that you begin to feel good about yourself. You may have your own, weaknesses. Don't dwell on where you are failing. Each one of us as we are seated here, but one thing I know, your strengths are more than your weaknesses. So dwell on your strengths and build on them.
And the girls have commended government for the help.
To focus on school and don't matter about anything that's happened, just focus on school so that you can pass and become better citizens in future.
Yes, ever since they started sponsoring me, I've seen great things in my life because I'm a single orphan, yes. So my mom couldn't, because being a single parent is not an easy thing. So in some other ways, she couldn't manage to pay for me school fees. But because KGS came in my life, at least I'm now managing things because it's providing me with a lot of things like the basics.
Nkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Masaiti District.
Zanis News continues. Now, Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule has called for effective service delivery by civil servants in a bid to accelerate development in the region. Speaking during the third quarter of the Provincial Development Coordinating Committee in Chinsali, Mr. Mukungule emphasized on commitment to duty as key to reaching the developmental agenda for the province.
Muchinga Province is very critical to the economic development of Zambia as it is a gateway to East Africa and has a reliable rainfall pattern. This makes Muchinga well positioned for trade and agricultural production. In this regard, it is my expectation that the review of the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act, We help this province in addressing matters that affect the growth of cooperatives and enterprises. The new CEEC Act will need to respond to the current demands and aspirations of the Zambian people.
One of the objectives of this act was to have the empowerment fund, which we see now people benefiting from. And so another objective was to promote economic empowerment of targeted citizens, citizen-empowered company, citizen-influenced company, and citizen-owned company.
Mpulungu District Agricultural Coordinator Gloria Musaba says all the allocated consignment of D compound and over 40% of the urea has been received under the 2023-2024 Farmer Input Support Program. The district has since flagged off the distribution of inputs to farmers. Christine Muselu gives us more in this report.
The 2023-2024 farming season is almost here, and the Ministry of Agriculture in Mpulungu has started distributing inputs to farmers. District Agricultural Coordinator Gloria Musaba has also indicated that the district has received most of the inputs in the district.
We have received the farming inputs for the 2023-2024 season, and among the inputs we have D compound. The entire consignment, which is 100%, has been received. And with urea, we are at 40%, but we are assured from the supplier that we'll continue receiving the fertilizer. We have received the maize seed, we have soya beans, we have sugar beans, which is newly introduced sunflower. It's a newly introduced crop on the pack. And we also have groundnuts. So all these, they've been supplied by various suppliers. We have Seed, we have Zamseed, we have Seedco, different suppliers coming on board. Once our farmers collect the inputs, we'll actually start monitoring the utilization of these inputs.
And the district administration has urged farmers to properly utilize the inputs.
Twalima vimitusunga because government kutupela sukuti tulime tukazie vivino vimatwavwa. Vivi vyashali vyakulya lakini tutakazia vyonse ngana petuka konka usuchakana ina Mpulungu twachinda masana sana. Before you twakula mikonka turole vino mukulima so that we encourage one another. Ukuti ulimi mu Mpulungu uvule because of a president yakulanda.
Farmers have commended government for the early distribution of inputs.
Ndi wansansa sana bantu government yaleta bwangu fertilizer no mwaka twapoka bwangu mu October ichi ngane chibulimi ni muno kutila twala chitapulipea bwangu amabala ubulimi bwalaba bwino.
Christine Muselu reporting for Zanis in Mpulungu.
Zanis News continues. Now, Plan International Zambia, PIZ, has targeted 2,000 households struck with disaster under the Sustainable Food Security and Nutrition Enhancement SFN project. PIZ Provincial Program Manager Dennis Lembani disclosed that the German National Office is funding the one-year project, which started in September this year and will end next year. Sylvester Chimba now reports.
The ravages of climate change has continued to cause havoc in various parts of Eastern Province, thereby affecting production in the agriculture sector. In this regard, Plan International Zambia has initiated a project called Sustainable Food Security and Nutrition Enhancement, which will be implemented in 3 districts, namely Chadiza, Vubwe, and Mambo district. The non-governmental organization has organized a 3-day training workshop for 22 agricultural officers from 3 districts targeted at promoting climate-smart agriculture.
Plan International, we have embarked on a project called Sustainable Food and Nutrition Enhancement Project, which will be implemented in Chadiza, Vukwe, and Mamwe districts of Eastern Province. Basically, it's a response to the effects of climate change and its variability that affected the 3 districts in 2021, 2022, and also this time 2023 rainfall season. So like around this project also there is a big component around climate smart agriculture, because you should be aware that in Eastern Province agriculture is the mainstay of the people in the province. So once it's destabilized by emergencies like the disasters, I'm talking about hailstorms, floods and all that, meaning that agricultural production is compromising, if anything is not there. So we are saying, how do we, in the interest of building the capacity of the local population, how do we also come in with the climate smart agriculture? So in terms of our target group, we are going to target 500 in Chadiza, 500 in Vupwi, and 1,000 in Mambwe district. So in total, it's 2,000 households.
And the participants welcome this initiative.
This training is beneficial to everyone. It's under plan, and plan in general are looking at the girl child. Generally looking at the girl child, but even the others are involved. So it will help them in production of agricultural crops, livestock, and other things, so that they're able to produce more yielding and also have high nutritional value and also food secure.
Kudos to Plan who has organized this training. I feel it's a very, very important training and has come at the right time when we are faced with challenges of climate change, such as prolonged dry spells, increased temperatures, low yields, and what have you.
Sylvester Shimba for Zanis in Chipata.
Finally, in the news, in Muchinga Province, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has embarked on a consultative process of developing a national social protection coordination strategy. The strategy seeks to improve coordination in the implementation of policies and programs in the social protection sector. Provincial Deputy Permanent Secretary Matthew Chilekwa graced the meeting.
Coordination at all levels has been a problem over time. It is against this background that government is working to help departments coordinate better as they implement government policies and programs. As such, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has embarked on a process to develop the National Social Protection Coordination Strategy in order to improve coordination, which has seen stakeholders in Muchinga Province being consulted.
Besides the policy and legislation framework, there is needed to have a guiding document to support the actualization of coordination. Hence, it is decided that a coordination document has to be brought on the table for one and all to see exactly what we're supposed to do as a team as we coordinate these matters.
Muchinga Province Deputy Permanent Secretary, Reverend Matthew Chilekwa, who graced the event on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, urged stakeholders to support the process by participating fully.
This meeting is basically a consultative one to build the consensus on the scope of developing the coordination strategy on the implementation of social protection programs. In short, when it becomes consultative, it means participation is free.
Jacob Miti is the Provincial Social Welfare Officer.
As you are aware, coordination can help us even to remove duplication.
The desired outcomes are basically dependent on the coordination in the implementation of these social protection programs.
The consultation will be conducted with stakeholders at 3 levels, namely provincial, district, and community structures. Miriam Kwenda, reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
And that item from Muchinga Province brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, we take a look at the headlines once again. Government praises German support to Zambia. President Hichilema concerned with the food basket in Africa. Zambia International Mining and Energy Conference opens. Plus, anthrax spreads to 5 provinces in Zambia. And that is all we had for you on Zanis News. Be sure to join us next time. This has been Sarah Miti. Goodbye.